I have about a month until my newest shop update, so September 16th. And everything that I have for this shop update, I'm very confident in making. But I am trying to practice making pave rings more and more so that when it actually comes time for the shop update, I'm like perfecting it. I've made a few so far. This is a double band that I just stacked one on top of the other. I plan to make another pave band. I do have some other pieces that I would like to make for this next shop update that I'm not sure if I will get to or not, but since I do have a month, I'm sure I'll get to them. So I'm thinking this is probably just gonna be me doing some more pave. My name is Vanessa. I am a self-taught metalsmith and I am the creator of With Love Jewelry. I have so many burrs just lying around. I'm trying to clean everything up before I get started today. And I don't know why. I don't know if it's just me, but I like to put my burrs back in their like original packages, because I know where they all are. I know where their original packages are, but when I just have them lying here and there, and then of course I have my fox set, like I have my set of round and then setting burrs, but I don't like to mix my fox set with what I've purchased from like Rio, so I just like to put everything kind of in its place more or less, so I know where to find them. It's always a mess on my desk. I'm so glad you never see what's right here because it's always a mess. I've been trying to make myself a little bit more efficient, and so if the project that I'm working on needs to be rolled and annealed and pickled, I'll try to do 2 different projects at one time, or at least start a second project. So for example, while one project is being rolled and annealed and then pickling, while that's pickling, I start working on something else, because most likely that's going to need to be rolled and annealed and pickled. So I kind of like change gears. While one is pickling, I work on something else. Then when that one's pickling, I go back to the first project, so that I can try and make myself a little bit more efficient, because at the end of the day, I am one person and I am trying to fabricate everything that I work on, and fabrication takes quite a lot of time. Huh. I really wanted to try and make a pave ring out of argentium because it's so beautiful and bright and white. It's actually stronger than sterling too. I am writing a blog post for my website about the differences between argentium and sterling, and I might just have enough argentium here to make a ring. So we're gonna try it. Let's melt this down and see how much metal we get from it. Argentium is something else. Look at how gorgeous and white this is. So there's 1%, and this is in my blog post. Argentium has 1% germanium in it, and that 1% germanium gives it that incredible white, like silvery white, and of course it has more fine silver than sterling does, so you have just this incredibly gorgeous, crisp white, like silver white, I should say, and it's unmatched by any other metal. It's so beautiful. So let's go roll this out. So we have a ring band to start making our emerald pave band with, and I think this gorgeous silvery white with these intense green emeralds is gonna look amazing. have any finger protectors, so when I drill, it gets hot, like the ring heats up and gets hot. So I can usually, if I'm using like a smaller, finer drill, I can go a few before I have to stop. But if I'm using like a larger drill, like I was using a 1.5 millimeter drill bit, and I couldn't go through without having to stop for a single hole. Like every time I would like go halfway, have to stop, quarter of the way, have to stop, and then all the way through, and then I could start the next one because it just gets so hot and my fingers can't take it. I swear this would be so much easier if I had a microscope, and I'm sure it would make being consistent all that much better, like easier, but I don't, so I mean, I've got my little visor, but I swear, I don't know, I swear I put this thing on and then I don't even use these to look through. I just end up looking down. Like I have to be like this. I don't know. Microscope. One day. I'm not done yet prepping the seats, but I just want to see what one of the emeralds will look like. Probably can't see that very well, but it's gonna look so pretty. I don't have a ball vise or anything. I do have this little vise, and I just like realized the other day, so I always put it in here because it gives me like the opportunity to use both hands when I'm setting stones. And so the other day I was forming a bead and I slipped and I like gouged my finger out. I don't even know where my finger was. It must have been like really close to the ring or something. And so I think it was yesterday I was like, how do I make sure that my fingers and then yesterday I slipped and I almost gouged this, and I'm like, yeah, no. How do I make sure I can get my hand out of the way when I'm forming beads? So, oh look, you can see a gash right here anyways, how do I get my hand out of the way? And then I realized that if I actually grab the handle from underneath, I can rotate as I'm working. So instead of like stopping and doing this, I can like make a bead, turn, make a bead, and I'm like, this is awesome. You know, like this is that GRS one that has like the rotating handle. Like this is kind of like that, but the really, really cheap version. Let's see. That's why I need multiple stones, because I just dropped it. Look how nice that is. It goes so smooth. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like when I look at the emeralds on their own, they look absolutely tiny. Then when I put them inside the ring, I'm like, geez, they're huge. Like, I think for Pave, you really need to have itty bitty teeny tiny gems. I love how they look, like the 2mm stones, but it ends up being a really big ring, and I'm not put off by that. I hope you guys like that too, but I'd like to try some really itty bitty little stones and see how that goes. Is anyone else holding their breath, or is it just me? It is a new day, and this morning I was checking some of the video that I took yesterday for this YouTube video, and something glitched with my mic, and like the video had no sound and just looked really dumb. So unfortunately, there's going to be some parts of this video where there's missing sections. Unfortunately, you can't really go back and remake them because, well, you know, I'm making something and I've gotten to a certain point in my progress, so you'll just have to fill in the blanks with your imagination, unfortunately. But let's get to finishing this emerald pave ring. All of the emeralds are set, and something that I like to do is just go back over every single prong and rebead it just to make sure it's really secure. And then something else that I like to do, and this is just like crazy me making sure quality control is really good, is I turn on my Dremel and then I touch it to the ring, like I go around the whole ring, because the vibration will show me any stones that are loose. And so then I know, okay, I need to go back over those prongs again and really make sure that they're pressed in so that the gemstone doesn't pop out, because like it's like a huge fear of mine that somebody will buy this, like buy a pave ring and the stone will pop out. And funny enough, when I first started making jewelry, I remember I said to my sister one time, I'm like, how am I ever going to be able to sell jewelry to people? Because what if something happens? Like, what if something goes wrong? Like a stone falls out or something. And she said, hold on a moment. Her husband had purchased her a very small pave ring, diamond pave ring from one of the big brand companies. And she said within 2 weeks of wearing it, one of the diamonds fell out. So she's like, even if you're a professional jewelry company, that still happens. She said that she was more confident in my abilities in making sure that that never happens than some big brand company. So hopefully it never happens to me, but that's just a few tricks that I like to do, like re-bead each bead and then run it over with my Dremel engraver so that the vibrations show me if there's any loose stones. These emeralds are really difficult to work with. I feel like because they're like a oval-ish, they're not quite perfect circles. So like you'll have prongs that secure it, and then you'll have like one side that's a little bit on the oval side and it doesn't quite stick under the prong, and so it just kind of can wiggle out once you put the Dremel on it. So it's really, really tricky to do pave when you're working with imperfect circles, but we're gonna get it. We're gonna finish it. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it's been about a week or a little bit more than a week since I made, or I tried to make, the emerald argentium pave ring. And so I was setting the emeralds. I actually remade the ring, I want to say maybe 2 times. And I would set the emeralds, everything would be set, and then the emeralds, about half of them were falling out every time. And I could not get them set, and I couldn't figure out why, and it was killing me. So then I started to remeasure them, and to the naked eye, they looked round. They were, I think, maybe 1.7 or 2 millimeters. They looked round. But as I would go around and measure them in multiple spots, they weren't round. They were a wonky shape, and that's why they weren't setting properly. So they would have like almost round and then a little bit of like a weird edge to them. And I know because they're emeralds, emeralds can sometimes be brittle or break or just be not perfectly round, which is why you don't see a lot of round emeralds. But I remade the ring, and instead of using emeralds, I used some diamonds. And so I literally just finished setting the diamonds, and now we're going to clean it up. So it's exactly like I would have done the emerald ring. I'm just putting diamonds instead of emeralds. So let's clean it up and I'll show you the final result. glad I'm taking the time to remake or to make these pave rings over and over, because every time I make it, I think of a better way to make myself more efficient and to solidify my process. And I mean, this is just, it's so stunning. I cannot wait for somebody to choose a colorless diamond or moissanite option. I think on the argentium it would look amazing. I actually did, but like while I was setting them, I took one of my small colorless diamonds that are bigger and I just put it like on top of the setting just to see how it would look, and it was like, it was so beautiful. So I hope that somebody chooses that one day so I get to make that for them. Or maybe I'll make it for myself, but if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. You're amazing. I hope you've enjoyed this video and just kind of seeing my struggle and my process on making these pave bands. And I'm so much more confident now than I was. Now it's in my head how to do it, how to make it so everything is perfect. And they're looking so great. I'm so excited for them. These rings will be available on September 16th on my website withlovejewelry.net, and they will be fully customizable, so you'll get to choose your metal type. I'll have a ton of birthstone options. You might even see some new metal options that you haven't seen before, so I'm really excited about that. If you've enjoyed this video, I would love for you to like it and to subscribe to my channel. It helps me grow my channel, and it helps me as a small business in getting closer to monetization and having just a little bit extra wiggle room in a budget and having another piece to the puzzle of a stable paycheck. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.